Welcome to the Checkout Point, your quick dive into this week's e-commerce buzz with me, Alex, powered by Blicket. These 20 minutes pack the latest trends, news, and insights. Let's navigate the digital marketplace together. Ready? Let's go!
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of the Checkout Point by Blicket.co. I'm Max, coming to you slightly over-caffeinated as usual, and ready to dive into the world of e-commerce with all of you.
And I'm Rachel, joining you with a fresh cup of tea and just as excited. Today marks week 15 of our series, where we're bringing you the latest and greatest in e-commerce trends, news, and strategies.
Exactly, and let me tell you, Rachel, with spring here, Easter on the horizon, and even summer peeking around the corner, there's so much buzzing in the e-commerce world. Speaking of changes, have you heard about those new tariffs Trump's rolled out?
Oh, absolutely, Max. Those changes are going to have a huge impact on e-commerce owners who import their products. It kind of makes you rethink your summer shopping strategies, doesn't it?
You bet. And speaking of strategies, I'm super excited that we just published a new blog post on our site titled, What It Takes to Succeed as an E-commerce Manager, Essential Skills and Strategies. Can't wait to dive into that later today.
Oh, that's a must-read. And we'll also be exploring how those tariffs are shaking up online shopping and even our local markets. This stuff affects all of us, even on how we buy our tech gadgets or our next favorite summer outfit.
First up, though, we're going to unpack the dynamic world of e-commerce management. We'll dig into the essential skills needed, how tech plays a crucial role, and yes, how external factors like those tariffs we mentioned impact everything.
Then we've got some insights on Amazon's latest shopping innovations. Everything from seamless cross-website purchasing to what feels like sci-fi level drone deliveries. It's changing the game, and we're here to tell you how.
And don't forget, we'll be exploring Shopify's shift towards AI and some exciting domain name changes. It's all about adapting and staying ahead in today's fast-paced e-commerce environment.
Plus, we'll tackle how these global policies like tariffs aren't just about the fees, but how they're reshaping our entire shopping experience. From your next big tech purchase to those simple, everyday buys.
So lock in, folks. Whether you're managing an online store, shopping for the best deals, or just curious about the latest in e-commerce, we've got something for everyone today.
Can't wait to get started. Thanks for tuning in, and let's make this another great episode of The Checkout Point.
Max.
Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Have you noticed just how complex the role of an e-commerce manager has become lately?
Absolutely, Max. It's like juggling a dozen balls at once. Speaking of which, our latest blog post dives deep into what it really takes to excel in that position.
Oh, right. What it takes to succeed as an e-commerce manager, essential skills and strategies. That's definitely a must-read for anyone in or aspiring to get into that field.
Spot on. One of the key points we talk about in the post is the critical importance of data analytics. Today's e-commerce managers need to be really savvy with numbers to optimize everything from user experience to conversion rates.
It's like being a detective, isn't it? Constantly on the lookout for clues in the data to solve the mystery of what the customer really wants.
Exactly. Another big takeaway from the post is about the strategic use of technology. With advancements moving so fast, staying on top of the latest e-commerce tools isn't just helpful, it's essential.
You know, that actually ties into something timely. With the changes to U.S. tariffs from the Trump era affecting e-commerce owners who import products, it's crucial to keep an eye on these factors too. Updates like these can significantly impact pricing strategies and ultimately the bottom line.
Absolutely, and that's a great call-out because understanding external factors like tariffs requires both knowledge of the global economy and agility in adapting strategies. Couldn't be more relevant with seasonal changes on the horizon, like Easter and summer coming up.
And I think that's what's so interesting about our blog post. It's not just about the technical skills, but also adapting to an ever-changing landscape.
Right. For anyone listening who leads an online store, or if you're tackling roles that touch on e-commerce in any way, you'll find some gold nuggets in this post.
Oh, and don't miss out on the section about customer experience strategies. We delve into how creating a seamless customer journey is no longer just nice to have, but a major competitive advantage.
Yes, and to all our aspiring e-commerce managers out there, remember, it's a role that's as challenging as it is rewarding. But don't just take our word for it. Head over to blicket.co and check out the full post. Dive into those essential skills and strategies and start shaping your career path.
Definitely. Whether you're refining your skills or just curious about what goes behind the scenes of managing an online shop, there's something there for you. Hey, Rachel, have you ever wondered how something as mundane as tariffs can actually spice up our shopping habits, especially when you're hitting the online stores?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of like when you're planning a party and suddenly find out your budget's been cut. Things get real wild interesting. But seriously, I've been reading up on how these tariffs are affecting not just the cost, but the time it takes to get products and supplies. It's more tangled than my headphone cords after a jog.
Right? You'd think it's just a few extra dollars here and there, but nope. It's about the wait too. Like, imagine you're streaming your favorite show and suddenly it starts buffering. Tariffs can slow down the shipment of goods just like that. Slow internet ruins your binge-watching vibe.
That's such a good analogy, Max. Speaking of impacts, there was this article talking about global consumer views on tariffs. People aren't just mildly annoyed, they're actually changing how and where they shop based on these changes.
Wait, seriously? So, it's not just businesses tweaking their prices, but it's influencing fashion decisions worldwide? Game changer. But hey, considering everything, like, doesn't this mess with seasonal buying? You know, everyone's getting geared up for spring, Easter's on the horizon, then summer's just around the corner.
Exactly, Max. Just the other day, I was about to order this cute summer kit online, then remembered the tariff tango. Suddenly, I'm rethinking all my choices. And all this really plays into how e-commerce sites are strategizing their inventory, especially those dealing with imports from, let's say China.
Oh, speaking of which, that Trump order really threw a wrench into the works, huh? Shaking up e-commerce with a tariff shift specifically on imports from China. You think about how much of our goods come from there. You've got electronics, toys, heck, even those DIY arts and crafts kits you love.
I do love a good DIY project. But here's what I'm wondering. With all these tariffs, are people now leaning towards local products instead? Like, is Made in the USA making a comeback because it skips the tariff hoop jumping?
Could be. I mean, it makes sense, right? Keep it local, skip the wait, dodge the extra costs. Sounds like a winning strategy for impatient shoppers like myself.
You impatient? No way, I would have never guessed. But actually, that's a terrific point because this shift could ignite a bigger focus on local markets and shake up global trade dynamics too.
Oh, the plot's thicken like my grandma's homemade gravy at Thanksgiving. But honestly, this whole thing is a puzzle, piece by piece affecting consumers, businesses, global markets. It's like a domino effect.
Totally. And who knows what the next piece to fall will be. For now, it seems like a good time to maybe keep an eye on local, think global, and perhaps tighten those e-commerce strategies.
Wise words, Rach. And hey, let's not forget to maybe save a buck or two for that extra streaming subscription. Gotta have our show binging backup for those long shipping waits.
Absolutely, Max. Might as well enjoy a good show while we wait. Happy shopping and smarter strategizing to all our savvy listeners out there.
Okay, Rachel, have you ever been browsing on your phone deep in a shopping rabbit hole and wished you could just buy stuff right from the brand's website without jumping back and forth between apps?
Oh, Max, all the time. It's like, please, just take my money already. What's the scoop?
Well, Rachel, Amazon's rolling out this new feature where shoppers can use their Amazon app to buy products directly on brands' websites. It's like having a universal shopping cart across the web.
That's super convenient. But wait, I'm wondering, what's in it for Amazon? They must be getting something out of this, right?
Exactly. They're making it easier for us to spend money, sure. But every purchase likely gives them a cut or some valuable data on our buying habits. Game changer for convenience. But I guess it's also Big Brother shopping style.
I'm not entirely convinced everyone will love that idea. But here's what I'm wondering, Max. Speaking of shopping, have you heard about the Amazon haul?
No way, what's an Amazon haul?
It brings the thrift store vibes to your desktop. Cheap deals, but with slower delivery times. Like, if you're not in a rush, you can snag some great bargains.
Slow and steady wins the race, right? That's perfect for non-urgent buys. Oh, imagine stacking up on Easter goodies way in advance. Speaking of which, crazy how those tariff changes might impact prices this season.
Oh, definitely. Those changes could hit the pockets of e-commerce owners who import goods. Spring shopping could get pricier, but maybe Amazon haul could ease the blow for bargain hunters.
True, and there's another cool update. Remember when drone deliveries seemed like a sci-fi fantasy?
Oh yes, we're back to future talk, aren't we?
Absolutely. Amazon's resuming drone delivery tests. Imagine getting your frisbees and picnic supplies dropped off by a drone.
Okay, Max, that'd be wild. Wait, and there's more. Have you heard about Amazon's Buy For Me feature?
Hit me with it.
It's powered by their new AI. Basically, you tell it what you need and it shops for you. It's like having a personal robot shopper.
No way. That sounds like something out of a movie. Hey, robot, I need a new soccer cleat. Make it snappy.
Exactly. But this all gets me thinking. All these innovations are fun and super cool, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Privacy, job impacts, consumer habits.
Right, like, are we trading convenience for more oversight into our lives? And what about the local stores and all the personal touch?
Exactly. It's a mix of excitement and a pinch of skepticism. We need to keep an eye on these advancements, not just celebrate them blindly.
Well said, Rachel. It's about finding that balance. Maybe our friendly drones can help with that one day.
I'd love to see that. Okay, keeping an eye on the sky and our shopping carts both at the same time.
You got it, Rachel. Always a blast diving into these tech updates with you.
Same here, Max. Until our next tech adventure.
So, have you been nosing around the latest buzz at Shopify, Rachel? I mean, diving into AI and changing domain names? It's like watching them transform their business in real time.
Oh, absolutely, Max. And it's quite the digital metamorphosis. Let's start with the AI bit. Apparently, Shopify's CEO is pushing to ramp up AI usage rather than expanding the team size. Kind of a big deal, right?
Totally. It's like instead of adding more chefs to the kitchen, they're bringing in some super cool kitchen robots to make the work faster and possibly tastier. Figuratively speaking, of course.
I like that analogy. But here's what I'm wondering. With AI becoming an expectation at Shopify, even affecting performance reviews and hiring, how does that shift the dynamics in the workplace? You think it's going to be all rosy?
Good point. It's definitely a game changer, but could be a tad intimidating, right? Like, imagine going to work knowing that a robot might be keeping tabs on your performance. Excuse me, R2D2, how's my productivity today?
That would be something. But on a serious note, it puts a spotlight on efficiency and innovation. It kind of demonstrates how crucial it is to stay adaptable in today's tech-driven market.
Exactly. Speaking of staying adaptable, changing a domain name in Shopify isn't something they're taking lightly either. Permanent changes like those can really affect brand recognition. You know, it's like showing up at a reunion and everyone's calling you by a nickname you outgrew decades ago.
I hadn't thought of it that way, but you're right. And it's got me thinking about the global picture, like those changes to U.S. tariffs under Trump that shook up many e-commerce owners, especially with seasons changing, spring sales, and all that jazz.
Oh, totally. With Easter around the corner and summer not far behind, you can bet a lot of online shops are bracing for changes. Hopefully, tools like Shopify make that a bit easier, tariffs or no tariffs.
Yup. Adaptability seems to be the name of the game. And with AI in their arsenal, businesses like Shopify are not just adapting, but they're kind of paving the way for others to follow suit. What's fascinating is how all of this tech is becoming intertwined with the everyday operations.
Indeed, it's the era of survival of the techiest. But it's super cool to see how companies evolve. Maybe it'll inspire some of our young listeners out there. Future CEOs and tech wizards, you know?
Definitely inspiring the next generation to think big and embrace technology. That's a wrap on a super interesting discussion, Max.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see what's next in the tech world. Stay tuned, folks. Okay, Rachel. You know how we've been talking about how international deals and policies have a way of sneaking into our everyday shopping carts?
Oh, absolutely. It's like 1 minute you're planning a peaceful evening of online shopping, and the next thing you know, you're trying to decode economic policies.
Exactly. Speaking of decoding, have you caught wind of what's going on with Nintendo and their delayed Switch 2 pre-orders?
Yeah, I heard something about that. This has something to do with tariffs, right? Fill me in, Max.
Check this out. So, Nintendo was all set to get us hooked on their latest gadget, the Switch 2, but then, bam! Tariffs imposed during the Trump administration threw a wrench into the works. It's basically a tax or a duty placed on imported goods, and these costs often get passed down to us, the consumers.
Wait, seriously? So that's why my cousin's been moping around about not getting his pre-order in?
Yep, that's the one. Just think of it as the world of global politics playing gatekeeper to your gaming weekends.
That's such a bummer. But it's not just Nintendo feeling this pinch, right? There's more going on in the e-commerce world.
Bingo! There's another twist in the tale. Fintech companies like Affirm are also having a rough time because of these tariffs. Affirm, the company that lets you buy now and pay later, ended up having one of their worst weeks on record.
No way. I use Affirm all the time for bigger purchases. That's really going to shake things up.
Totally. And to give you a broader picture, since we're rolling into spring and Easter's right around the corner, think about all the small e-commerce business owners having to figure out their prices. It's like, just as they're getting ready for the summer rush, they hit a tariff wall.
That really puts it into perspective. All these tariff changes don't just pop up in big company headlines. They trickle right down to our local shop's checkout link.
I'm just imagining trying to buy a beach ball online and getting hit with a geopolitical quiz.
Right? To add this to your cart, first solve this international economics puzzle.
Oh, and let's not forget companies like Klarna who had to delay their IPO because of these same worries. It's like everyone in the tech and e-commerce playground got caught in a sudden rain shower.
It makes you think, though, how do these companies adapt? I mean, if you're planning a big move like an IPO or launching a new product, and then these tariff storms hit.
Yep, it's all about staying agile in this crazy connected world of ours. Whether you're a giant like Nintendo or a startup in your garage, being able to pivot and adapt strategies is key.
Wow, it really shows how connected things are. Gaming systems, online shopping, international policies, it's one big web.
Exactly, Rachel. It keeps our shopping adventures and our podcast never lacking in surprises.
Certainly keeps things interesting.
So, Rachel, have you checked out the release about those new e-commerce tools that came out earlier this month?
Oh, I was just looking at that, Max. But, the details were pretty sparse. What's the scoop?
Okay, here's the deal. There's a bunch that just hit the market this April. But surprise, surprise, not a lot of specifics yet. It's like everyone's keeping their cards close to their chest. But I did catch wind of some super cool AI tools that are supposed to be game changers for online shopping.
AI, huh? That's always intriguing. How are they supposed to change the game?
Picture this. AI that can predict what you want to buy before you even know you want it. It's like having a mind-reading friend who also happens to be a shopping wizard.
Wait, seriously? That could be either incredibly handy or a little bit creepy. But here's what I'm wondering. How accurate are these predictions? I mean, sometimes I don't even know what I want for lunch.
Exactly. There's definitely a fine line between helpful and, feeling like you're being watched. But imagine the potential for retail pharmacies. Like, GoodRx just launched an e-commerce setup for them. Super timely, right?
Definitely, especially with spring here and everyone gearing up for allergy season. That reminds me, did you hear about the tariff changes affecting imports? Seems like that could hit a lot of e-commerce folks hard.
Oh, you just jumped to one of my favorite topics. Politics mixing with shopping. Yeah, the changes to U.S. tariffs will shake things up for sure. It's kind of like when the seasons change. You got to adjust your wardrobe, or in this case, your business strategies.
Nicely put. And with Easter coming up, businesses might be looking at these new tools to boost sales, right? Speaking of seasons changing, I read that some e-commerce tools are now focusing on sustainability, helping businesses cut down on waste.
Now that's something I can get behind. Making money and saving the planet at the same time? Count me in. But here's a thought. Do you think these high-tech tools will be user-friendly? Not just for the tech geeks, but for everyone?
Good point. It's crucial they keep it simple. Nobody wants to read a manual the size of War and Peace just to sell some flip-flops online.
You said it, Rachel. Keep it simple, keep it smart. That should be the motto for all these tech developers out there. Speaking of which, let's keep an eye on how these new tools roll out over spring and summer. It's going to be interesting to see the real-world impact.
Absolutely, let's do that. Watching these trends is always fascinating, and hey, maybe it'll give us more smart shopping superpowers.
Or at the very least, help us figure out what to have for lunch faster. Hey, Rachel, have you been keeping an eye on all the hubbub around tariffs and online retail lately?
Oh, absolutely, Max. It's impossible not to notice, especially with all the conversations about how these costs could change the game for smaller online retailers.
Right. And speaking of changing games, did you hear about the deadline extension for the TikTok deal? Now pushed to June 19th. It's another twist in the saga, kind of like when you think you've beaten the level in a video game, but then a wild boss appears.
That's a perfect analogy, Max, but it's not just TikTok feeling the crunch. According to Chain Store Age, import tariffs are really making life tricky for retailers with growth plans. It's like every time they plan their budget, a new tariff springs up like a whack-a-mole.
Exactly. And it's not just about the extra costs, right? It's about how these businesses adapt. Kind of like how a skateboarder needs to adjust their balance with every new bump or crack in the pavement.
Well put, Max. But here's what I'm wondering. With the National Retail Federation predicting retail sales growth slowing down by 2025, how much is this tariff tension contributing to that slowdown?
That's a super cool question. I mean, higher tariffs could mean higher prices for consumers and possibly less spending. Anyway, I've been thinking about Easter coming up and the shopping frenzy that goes with it. If online retailers are importing goods, those egg baskets might just get pricier.
Oh, for sure. And then there's summer right around the corner. Imagine gearing up for a beach day, only to find out your new swimsuit cost an arm and a leg because of, yep, tariffs.
No way. That's going to dampen the summer vibe. But, smart retailers might start looking for local solutions, sort of planning their own gardens to avoid those pesky import moles.
I'm not entirely convinced everyone can or will switch to local options, though. The global market has its perks, right? Variety, specialty goods.
True, but necessity is the mother of invention. Maybe this pressure cooker of tariffs and market changes will cook up some fresh innovations. Retailers might just surprise us.
And we'll be here watching and waiting to see what happens. It's like reading a thriller novel, but for the economy.
Oh, totally. Each chapter more unpredictable than the last. So, folks, make sure to keep tuning in for more on this riveting retail roller coaster.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Max. Stay curious, everyone.
Wow, Rachel. Can you believe we just wrapped up week 15? That was a whirlwind, covering everything from Amazon's thrifty innovations to Shopify's AI leaps. And let's not forget those tariff changes. Looks like everyone, from big-time retailers to your average Joe, will feel the ripples this spring.
Absolutely, Max. And those tariff changes really tie back to what we mentioned earlier about how these political decisions are going to affect not just the big players, but also small e-commerce owners. Plus, spring's coming up, which means new buying habits and probably a bunch of confused shoppers adjusting to the new prices.
Oh, definitely. And speaking of spring, I'd bet Easter's going to be like a mini treasure hunt. But for the best deals this year, thanks to those tariffs. It's definitely something to keep an eye on as we move into summer.
I couldn't agree more. And today's chat about e-commerce tools really got me thinking about the future of online shopping and sustainability. It's fascinating how technology is shaping not just how we buy, but also how we think about the impact of our purchases.
For sure. And hey, if you guys enjoyed diving into these twists and turns of e-commerce with us today, we'd love it if you joined us again next week. We'll keep dishing out the latest news and, yes, potentially subject you to a few more of my infamous terrible jokes.
We wouldn't have it any other way, Max. And don't forget, if you're craving more insights or just need some awesome resources, swing by blicket.co. There's always something new to discover that can help you navigate these crazy waters of e-commerce.
So true. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. It really is the highlight of our week, and we hope it's adding a little something to yours too.
Take care, everyone, and remember, whether it's tariffs or tech, stay curious and keep exploring. We'll catch you next week for more exciting e-commerce tales. Until then, host 1 and host 2. Stay savvy, shoppers.